Hey guys, Jean here, and I have kind of a different video for you today. Firstly, I wanted to announce that I am trying to learn how to draw. I don't consider myself an artist. I dabbled a little bit when I was a child. I took a couple art classes at the YMCA, a couple art classes in college, but I was never very good at it. And I don't consider myself much of a visual artist. However, I really think I want to learn to be for a couple reasons. Number one, the more and more I'm reading graphic novels, the more I'm loving them, and I would love to be able to do my own art for my stories, because especially as an independent author, paying somebody to do a graphic novel, your art is pretty expensive, and I'm not sure that I have the funds or will ever have the funds to do that. However, if I can draw it myself and learn and get the experience, that would be something I really enjoy. The same is true with my children's books. I've had a real struggle with getting my children's books illustrated. The first book I had illustrated, I just used clip art, which wasn't the way to go. The second book, I hired an artist. And it's a series, it's a book series actually. And it's not out yet. And it's not out yet because of, honestly, issues with art and the artist. So a couple things happened. I did hire an artist off of Fiverr, and for anybody who's worked with people on Fiverr, you know that it can be kind of hit or miss. The stuff that my artist was sending me, it was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular, anything to write home about, but it was in my budget, and it was adequate. It wasn't bad. So as she continued to send me pictures, it was very hard sometimes for me to convey what I was looking for to her. And there were times that she sent me stuff that I just didn't really love. Also, she hasn't been sending me stuff recently, and now I'm a little concerned that I'm not going to be able to continue getting art from this person. And that is frustrating and unfortunate, but it can happen when working with artists. It's the same with working with ghostwriters. If you are working with somebody else for something artistic, it can be very hit or miss. So I'm decided, after a while ago I read the book Outliers that said, basically you can learn a skill if you just practice a lot, and it takes about 10,000 hours to learn a skill. Well, I'm in the writing thing for the long haul, but I've decided I'm going to learn to draw as well. And so hopefully, if I'm shooting for 2 hours a day, if I can continue with my drawing 2 hours a day, hopefully in about 4 or 5 years, I'll have enough skill to illustrate a children's book. We'll see. I have been practicing my character sketches of one of my characters, which I did want to show you real briefly. These are very poor sketches of a Sasquatch, a flying monkey, and the Sasquatch's dog. These are not what will actually appear in the book, but this is my current level of art ability. So this is what I'm working up from for my characters in the story that I had, again, hired an artist for, and that is not necessarily going where I want it to go. So what I want to tell you about today is the 2 art books that I have been using to learn, and to show you some of the drawings that I've done so far using these books. So if you are a beginning artist, kind of at the level I am, you can decide if these books might be helpful for you. The first one is Drawing Animals with Numbers. I had previously tried drawing monsters with numbers and really enjoyed it. This is a cool series, and I just got another book from the series out from the library, so I do plan to continue on the Drawing with Numbers series. They're really neat because basically you start with a number, so a shape you're familiar with, and then add details to get different animals. And there's all kinds of animals in here, and they're really, really cute and really fun. This book is very accessible for a beginner. My daughters have been doing it as well, and their art turns out pretty good. You can at least tell what critters they are. Now, it's very cartoonish, so if you're trying to draw like real to life animals, this may not be a helpful book, but for a beginner and for children, this is an amazing book. I love how it shows you step by step. I've been learning a lot of things, particularly about faces and eyes, and as well as bodies, but especially like how to give curves to bodies and give texture. Let me see if I can find a good example. This is a great example. The kitty. So like that little tiny bit of texture on his back. That is not hard, but that is really neat, as well as the legs. I mean, just, I'm learning so much. So I really enjoyed this, highly recommend it, especially if you're a beginner. This is a great book for beginner, for kids, to kind of start off and learn to draw and do some basics. The other book that's more advanced that I've been working through is Farm Drawing Book by Ralph Mizziello. And these animals are a little bit more, realistic's not the right word, but not as cartoonish. So it's a lot more detailed, a little bit more difficult, not necessarily as accessible if you are just starting out or if you are looking for an art book for children. This is in the children's section, and an older child could probably do well. My children are 8, and they did mess around with some of the chicks, and I believe they tried the hens as well. So they are trying, and there is a really detailed, I do want to say this is the hardest, but it's amazing. And one of my girls did it and did very well, the barn. But as you can see, it's very detailed. It's actually 2 pages worth of barn drawings. And so, yeah, this book is great. It's just very detailed. So it's maybe not the right place to start, especially on a young child, but it's got some great things as you're like a little closer to intermediary. So those are the 2 books that I've been using to draw. I have really liked both of them. They were very user-friendly, and my art is not nearly what theirs is, but I do want to show you the pictures that I drew using these books. So where me, who doesn't have much art level, is from beginning to end of using these books. All right, so this was from the Animals by Numbers. That was my first attempt. Second page. I am really proud of my llama. I thought that was one of my better ones, and I really liked the sloth. He was interesting, and I learned a lot drawing him. And there's my kitty. I was really proud of him. And again, some more of the Animals by Numbers. I also felt like that was a really good pig. I was much prouder of my second pig attempt than my first one. Now, this is when I started trying to draw the more detailed animals. As you can see, my first attempt was pretty rough. Here were the pigs that I tried to do following the directions. I thought they looked kind of lumpy potato-ish, but I did learn a lot about drawing grass. You'll see lots of grass in the upcoming pictures. I have a goat. I was really pleased with the goat. I thought the goat turned out good. I did some practice with the hay bales as well. And you've got the grass down there, so I was really impressed with that. I thought that was pretty good. I tried the chickens again, and other than the hen looking a little emaciated, I thought that was pretty cool. A cow. And again, I did the hay bales. I think I did a lot better with the hay bales this time. And a horse. This was my attempt at a farm and a tractor. Oops. A farm and a tractor and some animals. Now the animals are from the other book. I had finished drawing things from both books at this point and was just adding kind of something different, and so I wanted to go back and kind of combine the animals from the Draw Numbers book with a setting from the more advanced book, see how it would go. Here is some more of my using the numbers books. Now I was particularly trying to convert one of the monkeys into a Sasquatch, since that's kind of what I'm going for with my own story. So you see some of my attempts there at working on the Sasquatches, and I also did a theme of birds, because once I finished drawing the whole book, I wasn't really sure what to do next. I'm still very new to this, so learning how to practice is tough. Here is my tractor. Here is my barn. A little cartoon thing I did. I wanted to in some way incorporate my stories, so I had them having a conversation about a scene that takes place in one of my books. Because again, once I'd gone through and drawn everything in the books, I didn't have any more drawing books at the time. I hadn't gone back to the library, so I didn't really know what to do next. So that has kind of been my adventure into art so far. I will probably keep you updated and keep doing art books. If you are an artist, I could really use some advice on how to study, if that makes sense, art. I'm getting these books and drawing everything through, but then I'm kind of not sure what to do next. I'm not sure if I should be, again, making the cartoons, or if I should be combining the elements like I did in the one picture. I'm not really sure what is the best practice. So if you are yourself an artist and can give me any pointers, I would appreciate it. If you have any drawing books that you can recommend for somebody who's a beginner, beginning of intermediary, please let me know. I do like both of those art books, so if you are beginning your artist journey, I don't have much experience, but I can tell you they're user-friendly for a beginner. And yeah, that is what's going on. I am working on my art journey, and I'm going to keep you guys updated on how that goes. All right, guys, this is Jane. Feel free to leave comments about anything art related, anything you can help me with, teach me. I am completely a beginner and excited to be going on this journey. Also, my social media is below. If you enjoyed this video, please like. If you want to see me as I progress through my art journey, feel free to subscribe. I am not sure how often I'll be posting art-related videos. Probably once or twice a month as I go through these different drawing books. I just went to the library and got more, so as I will comment on each book I go through, do a little bit of a book review on the art, how easy it is, how well it is to follow, how my stuff turned out following it, etc. Also, just so you know, as I mentioned, I am a writer. Most of my books, I write primarily romance, and they're under the Jane B. Knight name, and they're basically everywhere. I do have a children's book out under Janie McKnight, and it is called Ichabod and the Honey Monster. And it's the one I did clip art on, and you can see if you go to Amazon, that one's only on Amazon, you can see that it's not very well done. I want to eventually take it off and do proper art for it. I was just learning at the time. It's like an author journey. I assume there's a lot to learn in the art journey. And I'd done that children's book with the clip art in 2014. So when I was very new to writing and self-publishing as well, you know, that was 5 years ago, and I've grown a lot. So I am trying to study to learn so I can illustrate my children's books in the next 5 years, and maybe in the next 10 years be able to do some like actual graphic novels, because I really love that medium, and I don't yet have the skills to work in it, but hopefully. And also, just we'll do this as an experiment. I keep telling people as an author, practice makes perfect, and that's how you become a good author. So I'm gonna see, learning a new skill, art, if that is really the way it is, or you know, if people are just born an artist or not. Can we learn the skill? So that's kind of a great adventure. I hope you will join me on that adventure. This has been Jane. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.